I'm not afraid to put myself out there.
Nah.
Dude, who they got, dude? They lost their defensive leaders. No Chung, no Hightower. Half the team opting out. No, they don't got Brady no more. Now I like Cam, but who's he gonna throw to besides Edelman? I mean, N'Keal Harry's unproven. Marquise Lee opted out. They don't got no weapons.
I mean, that's how they always have. But
I know,
I'm
but this ain't
dang,
this ain't
the
TB.
The Dolphins?
The Dolphins beat the Patriots at New England
They do.
December when the New England had to win to get a bye. I mean, the Dolphins did nothing but get better in the offseason. They finished the season strong. Flores, former Patriot, building a winning culture. They had some great free agent signings. They had a really good draft. They only got better. They finished the season strong last year.
Dang. You just saying that because you a Steelers fan.
Oh Lord.
Hey man, hey man. You know, I hate the
Kick them while they down, Nate. Kick them while they down.
Hey,
Oh, okay. Well, I'm getting out of here. Bye.
You ready?
Kick them while they down, Nate.
Hey man, I hate the Patriots, but I don't hate making money. So if the Patriots had to go undefeated again for me to make a lot of money, I'd bet it every week.
Dang.
Don't bet with your heart, bet with your wallet.
I heard that. Hey, am I good, Fade?
Yep.
I feel like I'm crooked.
Okay. Good.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Deep Third. We appreciate you guys. A special guest tonight. We'll talk about him in just a second. We're going to let everybody introduce themselves. Dante, go ahead and take that thing on.
Yes, man. Thank you everybody for tuning in to Deep Third. Another episode, man. We definitely appreciate you guys. I'm DP.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Fade, not the Patriots fan that everybody's wanting to call me. Not the Patriots fan, but it's your boy Fade. Thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to like the video as well.
Hi, everybody.
So now I want to introduce one of my good friends, Mr. Nathan Natty Ice Stephenson. I got an opportunity to coach with this man. Just a quality dude. We're so excited that he decided to come on tonight. So we got some special things for you guys. So I'm gonna let him introduce himself here.
What's up, everybody? Thank for the kind words, Jarrell. I am Nate Stephenson. I was Jarrell and Dante were kind enough to ask me to come on the show with you guys tonight. Been watching. You guys have been doing some awesome work. And just to follow it up, I actually know Jarrell and Dante from we coached together for several years, and had the privilege of calling them both friends. And we've had always some fun football talk in the past, and I know I'm looking forward to some more of that today.
Boo Steelers, though.
Hey, I'm ready for it. I offended Faye before. I said, man, I said, you're a Patriots fan from what I'm seeing? Like, no, I'm a Cam Newton fan, not a Patriots fan.
Lies. They love Belichick.
Well, now's the time where we're going to send this to Mr. Fabe. He's going to talk to you guys about our special segment, and then I'll come back in, and we're going to let Mr. Nate talk about some things, but we're going to hold that off for just a second. Go ahead, Fabe.
Yo, everybody. As always, every week we got our segment called Deep Thought. This is your time and your opportunity for those in chat to comment, ask any questions that you guys may have. We're gonna be definitely diving into some good topics here with Nate. So definitely have those questions ready, because that segment is about you guys. So again, it's called Deep Thought, and it's at the end of the show.
All right. So I'm not even gonna. I'm just gonna let Nate do all the talking here. We brought Nate on. He's doing some awesome things in a separate podcast as well. We're gonna let him talk about that and talk about his podcast and what he's doing. All right, Nate, go ahead and take that thing on.
Appreciate it, Jarrell. So yeah, the guys asked me to come on. Me and my friend Steve, Big Boofy Scuremen, which actually Jarrell knows as well from coaching. We've been it's our second year now. We do an NFL handicapping podcast called Big Boof Bets. Get That Money podcast. We got That Money from a coach we coached with in high school a couple years ago. He'd always go when it was about game time. He's like, "Get that money," and and it's just something that stuck with us forever. And so when we were starting and figured out a name for everything, I was just like, "Well, Boof, you have a cool nickname. Let's just name our brand Big Boof Bets." And he's like, "Of course, he was down with that." And I said, let's name it the Get That Money podcast because that's what it's all about. He's like, "I love it. Let's do it." And so basically, yeah, long story short, because I can talk forever. I get yelled at for that sometimes, but um, we started. I've been sports for over a decade. Um, I actually, 2016, so about 4 years ago, um, me and Boof started taking NFL wagering a little bit more seriously. We met coaching. We met in 2013, became really good friends, started watching games on Sundays together, and then I talked about how I bet on sports, and then from there on out, we started watching games together, and then last 4 years we've just been slowly diving into this world of sports betting more and more and more, and we take a unique perspective in it, in that there are a lot of guys out there that are purely numbers guys. They base to make their picks on, and then there are other guys who they're the gut players. Just I feel good about this someday, and honestly, we try. Our whole purpose of what we do is we try to make the perfect marriage of statistics, watching the games, historical data, what we like, what we don't like, and we try to mash it all together. Because I was actually talking to Faye before the show. One thing we take pride in is avoiding the bad picks, avoiding the thing that everybody says is going to happen and it doesn't happen. That's telling you everybody get on this. So to reel it back in a little bit, the biggest thing we do is twice a week before every NFL weekend, we have a strategy session. We go through every game, and then we map out what are our favorite bets, both as far as the games go, and then this year we're going to be diving into more player props as well. And like I said, the last we started doing this in 2016, and then we said we do this strategy session. Why don't we make it into a podcast? And then that's how Big Boof Bets started. And the last 2 years have actually been the most profitable we've had. The more we've dived into it with just having our strategy session together, statistical analysis, all that stuff. And we, like I said, we use a lot of checks and balances. And last year, we actually considered a down year for us. We have a lock, a group of picks we call locks, and those are our favorite picks that we both agree on every week. And last year, our winning percentage was 56%, which is actually the betting industry standard for profitability. As I was talking to Fade a little bit about this. To give you guys a quick lesson, I'm not sure how much you know about all this stuff. normally if something is minus 110 odds, that means that's the amount of money you need to bet to win $100. So if it's minus 110, I need to bet $110 to win $100. So you need to win just over 50% if you're going to break even. So if you want to break even, just betting straight bets on those odds, you're looking at 52 around 52%. If you want minimum profitability, you need to hit around 54%. Last year we were at 56%. So again, that's being profitable. That was the first year we actually started tracking our favorite bets as far as, tracking them on an Excel spreadsheet. Last year, the year before last year, we actually were even more successful, but unfortunately, we weren't tracking them yet. So I felt confident in saying that we were over 60% 2 years ago,
Wow.
which is really good.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so our whole goal was to, we're like, we do this anyway. Let's just, our friends wanted to know our picks. So we're like, we do this anyway. Let's just make it a podcast. And then worst case scenario, we're just having fun talking about it. Best case scenario, it catches on and, you can become internet famous and make some money.
Yeah. Now, from the podcast, have
Yeah,
people reached out to you guys or said like, "Hey, yeah, your picks you guys did this week, they won for me." Like, have you guys gotten that kind of feedback from your?
Oh my
shows?
God, yeah, it was so awesome.
Nice.
Last year being our first year doing it, my friend Boofy was he went to Penn State and he was in a fraternity, and like he would pass his a lot of his frat brothers started listening to the podcast. They're like, "Oh yeah, man, dude, I hit this parlay because of you guys. I avoided betting this with you guys, money, or I avoided losing money." So it's one of those things where, it honestly, it helps. Not do you need any extra motivation, but the fact that that there's people out there that are trusting you with their hard-earned money, it helps keep you even more accountable.
Yeah.
Like you want to make sure you put a good product out there, but at the same time, it's my responsibility to handle my own bankroll, but now, people are trusting us with their bankrolls. So it gives you even more motivation to make sure you're doing everything you can to be right every week.
Yeah, that's awesome, Nate. That's kind of like going back to what you said earlier about, that you guys kind of were already doing it and you're like, man, hey, let's just start a podcast. That's kind of basically how we did it. I came to them, I was like, man, we sit here and we talk about sports all the time. Amongst ourselves and be on the phone for hours at a time. And it was like, hey, let's just start a podcast and talk about what we normally talk about. So it's
Exactly.
awesome to hear.
That's awesome. Yeah, I hear you.
If nobody have a question yet, I do have a question for you.
Oh yeah, shoot.
Go for it.
Who is your sleeper pick for this year?
Now, are we talking sleeper pick to make the playoffs or win a division?
Make the playoffs.
I'll give you one I'll give you two. I'll give you one from the AFC and one from the NFC. I'll say from the AFC, Denver Broncos. Because I'll give you a couple reasons on that. One, you already got a good defense, and now you have Chubb coming back. So you have two good bookends in Von Miller and Chubb rushing the passer. So you already have a good defense, and honestly, what's really going to make or break them this year is how quickly the immense amount of talent on offense they have can gel. Because I thought Drew Lock looked pretty good. Was not blowing people away like Pat Mahomes, which few can. But
yeah.
I thought Drew Lock looked pretty good at the end of the year last year. Yeah. You're adding Judy and Hamler at the wide receiver position as you're at your 2 and 3 basically, with Sutton at number 1, who is just a beast. They got Fan at tight end, athletic, strong, fast. And then they have a nice two-headed monster at running back now, Melvin Gordon and Philip Lindsay. I mean, I think they have, across the board, they have a ton of talent on offense. And really, I look at who else in that division is really going to challenge the Chiefs. It ain't going to be the Raiders, and it ain't going to be the Chargers. Derwin James can't stay healthy on defense for them, and then they have Tyrod Taylor on a quarterback who, I mean, he's a good game manager, but I'm not expecting him to go out and score a bunch of points, especially when you got a high scoring team like the Chiefs in the division like that. So that's why I think the Broncos is a sleeper in the AFC. And in the NFC, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Did you have something, Jarrell?
No, go.
Also, I thought. And in the NFC, I actually like the Lions, which I heard some people. Yeah, I actually heard some. I heard some people talking crap on the Lions, and I look at that division again. You had Green Bay last year, and this is where I start getting a little bit of the math, but I don't bore you too much with it. But basically, the Green Bay's expected win total last year was 9. Okay, they won 13 last year. I think they were a fraud at 13-3, which the 49ers exposed them for. Now, I don't think they suck. I still think the Packers are going to make the playoffs, and they might even win that division. But the Bears have 2 backup quarterbacks trying to vie for the starting job.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Bears are a very good team. And then the Vikings, that we really think that they're going to be better without Stephon Diggs and Kevin Stefanski, who actually made Kirk Cousins look like an all-pro last year. Like, I don't expect that. I think, honestly, I think the division is wide open. I think the Bears are going to finish last in the division, and it's going to be between the Vikings, Packers, and Lions to that division. I like the talent they've added, the young talent they've added. I think that Patricia is actually starting to turn the ship around. Stafford was playing an MVP level last year before he got hurt. I mean, that's big.
Agree.
So I mean, I think they're one of those teams. They're definitely one of my dark horses to make the playoffs in the NFC.
Interesting. Okay.
So yeah, it's I mean, I can go on for days. So if you guys want, whatever you guys want to.
I got a question. So you alluded to people investing in you guys to make their bets and stuff like that. Is this something not from your side of it, of the business side? Is this something, if I came to you and I'm like, okay, here's my money, I want to invest, you make my bets for me and stuff. Is that something, if I'm giving you enough money, is bets something that I can make enough income off of? Like kind of passive income that I don't have to work?
Ooh.
My God, man, we'd all love that.
Is that too risky?
You know what? So now you're getting into the high roller world, talking like that. There are guys, but no. To answer your question, there are guys out there that are professional gamblers. That is their career. They're good at it. They make money at it. It's just if you're gonna do that, you have to have a big bankroll.
Okay.
Because it's one of those things where if you're probably gambling either A, year round, or B, you're just so good at one sport that is your baby.
Your focus, yeah.
And you're good enough, and you have enough money that you can bet, and you're successful enough that I can just focus on that, and that's my job. I've joked around with my fiance, and she made a big mistake by saying to me, if I could win 50 G's in a football season, that I could retire. And the funny part was 2 years ago I had the best year I ever had. Like, that's where like me and Boofy clicked, and we really started refining our process.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of parlays, and that's basically a parlay is where you're stacking two or more teams together in the same bet, and they all have to be correct for you to win your bet. So what parlays do is they drastically increase your odds for a payout. So for instance, one thing that Boofy likes to do, this is his baby, and we copy off each other, is he will always put a 5-team parlay in every single week. And it's normally for a $10 bet, it'll yield around $220 to $250 on a $5 bet. I'm sorry, $10 bet. So let's just say you're someone you're really really confident about it. You put $100 on that 5-team parlay, that's $2,500 right there. Now, what Fabe's talking about, the people who have a very big bankroll, you might have a guy that puts $1,000 on that 5-team parlay. Now you $1,000 by picking 5 games right against the spread. That's $25,000. I mean, that's a year's salary for us low middle class people. Like, so it's, or at least, back in the day, we're coming out of college. Like, that's a year salary, $1,000. So to get back to the story real quick, it's so funny. She said this bet, proposed this bet to me in front of Boofy. And he looks at Stacia and goes, like, now, Stacia, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but your boy over here wasn't that far away, like not very recently from reaching that. He's like, so you might want to be careful. He's like, no, it's not. He's like, it's like a 2 or 3% chance, but he's like, he's already almost done it. So I don't know about making that bet.
Wow.
So yeah, it's crazy, and it all depends on how you bet and what your bankroll is. And like I said, your bankroll is just, this is my money. I'm using, basically my betting fund is my bankroll, and that is your bankroll. Now, that's the reason we call it a bankroll, is because that is what responsible gamblers do. If you are always going past your bankroll, that's where you might need to start considering calling the 1-800-Gamblers Anonymous hotline.
Yeah. You know what? That makes me think of poker. That's kind of the same mentality they say in poker. You go in there with your bankroll, and if it ain't your night, you leave. You just leave. You walk in with what you're willing to lose, basically.
Absolutely, man. Like, betting is all about betting intelligently, responsibly, and successfully. Like, those 3 things, very important, because, or else you're going to end up a single homeless man, and you don't want that.
Yeah. Now, with your guys' strategy and system that you've had in place that's been successful, I'm interested to know, like, with COVID and everything that's happened, and how it's kind of changed the season, and now we don't have preseason, so the season's just going to start. Has that affected your strategy at all? Because now you don't have a look at the teams at all, really. Yeah.
Honestly, it won't affect it that much in terms of, like, the preseason. I mean, we all know it's a glorified walkthrough anyway.
Yeah.
So it's honestly what sucks with the losing the preseason is just because there's definitely going to be guys who you would normally make the team who are undrafted or low round picks. Now that those guys are just immediately going to be either cut or put on the practice squad.
Yeah.
It significantly lowers the chance of a first year player like that contributing heavily to a team. So as far as betting goes, we generally like to try to lock in lines that we really like. So for instance, when lines come out for the week, it's generally around, Tuesday, Wednesday, the updated lines for that week, sometimes a little earlier, depending on what sports book it is. If there's something we really, really like that we think the number is going to move not in our favor. So, like, for instance, like the Steelers come out, for instance, I'll use an easy example. Steelers come out, they'll come out +7 against the Ravens, which will, like, never happen. but like, well, maybe last year without the quarterbacks, but but like normal year, like they come out +7. We think the Steeler fans, because let's be real, because Steeler fans are going to bet on them no matter what they're good or not.
That's
I mean,
true.
let's be real. Let's be real. And so that number's going to, all right, I know that number's going to go down. Like, I want to grab it at +7 before it gets bet down to like +6, +5, +4.
Okay.
Like, we want to get the better number. So that's a big part about if you think a line is going to move not in your favor, you want to get it early. Now, that's an example of, you know, how we would normally want to do something. But beyond that, early in the season, you can get away with betting earlier because there's less injuries. As the season goes on, lots of times you have to wait later in the week because you got to see what the injury report is, because there might be a couple of key players that are going to affect whether or not I even want to touch a game or what team. And now to take it one step further, now you might have guys get test positive. You know, the test comes back Saturday night, Sunday morning. All right, man, the Dallas Cowboys don't have Dak and Zeke today because they're. So now the biggest thing for us this year is we probably won't be entering in most of our bets until literally game day on Sunday.
Dang.
Guys aren't out.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, like you could feel really good. Like, man, I got the Cowboys today, -3. They're playing a trash team, and then they lose half their offense, and it's like, now you don't want to be a situation you're praying like, oh, please God, give me a miracle. The Cowboys defense like lets up about 3 points today, and they win 7-3 or something like that. You don't want to be in that situation. But yeah, beyond that, we will honestly throughout the week we will put different things in that we like depending on, you know, injury reports and such. But this year we will definitely be waiting as late as possible probably to enter in most of our bets. It's all about timing.
Well, I know Fabe, I know for sure, you know, we're going to make sure that we get you guys put into a link, so people that even watch this after the live show, you know, can check you guys out. You just schooled me. I think this was wonderful. It was great. You sound like a wealth of knowledge. I'm gonna have to start paying attention so I can get my retirement up.
There
That's
you go.
all I need to do.
Hey Nate, man, I'm calling you this week, boy. Hey, I need to get some new equipment. What's up?
That's right. Get that money. You know what? Actually, I was going to say one thing. I know Fabe asked me, and I totally forgot to answer the one question he did say. When it comes to making bets, the way the state of Pennsylvania is, I cannot make bets for anybody. That would make me a bookie, and that would make it illegal, and that would be bad.
Okay.
We'll put that out there for everybody. But I can very easily reference, you know, refer you to the proper sports book. There's a lot of them available in PA now. The sports book, the legalization of sports betting in PA with just having apps on your phone and everything has been like a godsend. You literally have a bet ticket right in your hand anytime you need it. Like, you're a piece of information you like, you want to grab that line before they call it the sharps. That's basically the big money players jump on it and knock the number down in an unfavorable way. As soon as I hear something, boom, lock it in. I can get right on my phone and put a bet in. So like we use FanDuel, Fox Bet, DraftKings. Those are our 3 books we use the most. They have great sign-up bonuses and deposit bonuses. I highly recommend them all. Each of them have their own little kind of nuances that, you know, offer some different things and some different incentives. So I recommend all 3 of those. They're all pretty good.
So let me ask you this then, Nate. So you said that you would recommend those 3 for someone that is just getting into it. Which one would you say, hey, this is the best one for a newcomer?
I think the easiest interface is FanDuel. They're very upfront with their numbers. Their support team, if you ever have a question, you can easily contact their support team. They're pretty good about answering your question back either via email or just their online support. You can actually have a text conversation with an online support agent. If there's something you need help with, a question. Like I said, there's different things on the app where it can, there's a help session to explain different sections, bets, whatnot. And also, one of the biggest things I like for how I do something called tier betting, which is a whole nother thing that I could get into on another minutes feel about. But it allows you can keep all your bets on your bet slip. So like if I pick the 3-team parlay with the Steelers, the Ravens, and the Browns, and so I put a $10 bet on that and hit send, I have the option to like keep those in my bet slip and then not have to like go back into the app and find all what I did and make another bet that's similar to that. I can just hit delete on one of them if I don't like that one as much and make it a smaller parlay. I'm like, okay, now it's still my bet slip, bet again. Like you could easily make multiple bets very, very quickly and not have to research through the app to make another bet slip if you would like. So like I said, I think the interface is the most user friendly for new users.
Okay.
Nice.
I have never been a betting guy, but you make it very interesting. I will say that.
Thank you. Honestly, I look at it as playing the lottery. The lottery is, some people go spend like 10, $20 on the lottery a week, which that's all fine and good, whatever your jam is. But, that's so up to chance. I look at that as I would rather play the lottery, but in an educational, higher odds manner, which is how I look at sports betting. That's me playing, but in a way that puts the odds more in my favor. And I'm the one literally is responsible if I win or lose. Nobody else.
Yeah.
So I got 2 questions before we get into the NFL predictions. 2 last questions.
Sure.
What was your best win and your worst loss, and your learning lesson from your worst loss?
My best win ever. See, this year is what, 2020, right? So yeah, 2018. I hit a 13 team or 13 leg, whatever you want to call it, at 13 team parlay. I put $5 on it and won $4,300. It was the best.
Somebody do the math on that. What's the ROI on that? Holy
Disney.
cow.
That was the best single bet win I had. Like it was just $5, 13 teams, like all NFL games, 13 teams, and it came back $4,300. I was dancing.
Well, you just got a new subscriber to your podcast.
Hey, so listen. So that bet, Nate, was it just based off of like who was gonna win or who was gonna lose, or was it a points?
It was a mix of money line and against the spread, point spread bet.
Okay.
See, that's where I get confused because I'm like, man, what the heck? Plus 5. I'm like, I don't know what that is. So I'm just like, I just need win and loss.
I hear you, man. Well, that's honestly where you get into another whole thing of what me and Boof call them. If you're betting a point spread, your big checkpoints are 3, 4, 7, and 10, because that's normally what a team is going to win or lose by, unless you're really get it put on them by somebody. But like if I have someone I love to win the game, and they're -2.5. It's great. I'm looking at a field goal victory. Like if I'm getting 4 points, and again, I like them to win, or they play a lot of really close games, even if they lose. All right, field goal game, I still win if they lose by a field goal. I had 4 points on them. So like that's where, again, like it all depends on the team. It depends what you want to do and what is available to you with the point spread. Like that's really important. To that point, one of the worst losses I had was in the same season. It was in the same season, 2018. It was a very similar parlay to the one I just described to you. It was, I can't remember how many legs it was because obviously I didn't win it. So I don't you like to forget the loss. But the Steelers blew the big lead. I mean, if you guys remember this game at home against the Chargers. This is where I believe someone was offside on a field goal or something.
Yep.
The Steelers blew a big lead. And I think I had the Steelers like minus the points, like minus, it might have been like -4 or 5 or something. They only won, I think, by 3. They might have even lost. I can't even remember for sure, but that was the only leg in the entire parlay that I missed, and I would have won like another 5 G's like on that part. So that was definitely one of my worst losses, man. It was like, because like the Steelers are up big. You're starting to crack a couple beers and celebrate. Like, yep, we got another one. We got another one. And that's where you learn, man. Like, I can be up 35 points with 30 seconds left. I don't feel comfortable until the game is over and the bet is cashed.
Oh,
never celebrate too early. No high stepping into the end zone. No.
So that's the learning lesson. Never celebrate too early.
That and never just keep stacking teams on. Don't go past what you feel good about, because even what you feel good about is not always going to happen. Now, if it's just straight bets, it's a one-on-one thing. So I win that game, I win. I win that game, I win. I win that game, or I lose that game. That's fine. But like I said, I do a lot of parlays, so I need everything to happen. So the big thing is like after you have a big week like that, one of the many lessons I've had, you don't get cocky. Like, oh, yeah, I know everything's gonna happen now.
I'm a savant now, yeah.
I'm gonna take the point spread on every single game, do a 15-team parlay for $100, win 150 G's, and just retire this year. Don't do that.
If only it were that easy.
Yeah, exactly. Those are important betting lessons I've learned along the way.
Wow. Yeah,
I got pen, paper. I'm taking notes.
Yeah, man. Listen, right after this show, man, I'm gonna be diving into that podcast and getting on that FanDuel.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Shoot. I mean, I may not hit 4,300, but if I can turn $5 into something, I'm with that.
Well, here I'll give you guys something else. So if you're gonna do FanDuel, if you need to take, they have, I believe it's their initial deposit bonus is if you can handle depositing $500 into a FanDuel account, they will match that with another free $500. Like there's no strings attached to it or anything like that. Now it's bonus money. You have to bet it, but they're giving you $500 free to match your initial $500 deposit. You bet it like you're betting your own normal money. Our friend, Mr. Big Boofy Scuremen, when he signed up for FanDuel, he took advantage of the deposit bonus, and he had what we joked around, we call it either a bullet or a hammer, because we're like, we got this $500 just sitting here. He's like, I'm just primed to shoot this bullet because he's waiting for the right week, and then he did. He waited for the right week, put down 500 on a parlay you liked and hit it for like 2,500 bucks, which is the way, but off of free money. It was free money. That's the best part.
Wow.
So I always love with money that's free.
Yeah.
Ain't no money like free money.
Absolutely. But yeah, that's definitely some advice I can give you as far as the an example of maximizing your return and how you use your free money or deposit bonuses on a given website. Obviously, that being FanDuel. So I recommend it.
Nice, nice. Well, thank you for all the information,
Man,
Nathan.
definitely appreciate
Appreciate
that.
it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Dante, you ready to turn into the juice?
Yeah, man, let's get it, man. All right, so we're we're only gonna have one question tonight, fellas. So the question that we're gonna have is, who do we think is going to be the divisional champions? Who's going to win the championship? And then who's going to win the Super Bowl? So we're going to pick from each of the three categories and come up with a Super Bowl champion. So whoever wants to go first, have at it.
Mr. Stevenson has to go last. He's he's so people have to tune in so they can get some money out of this. Um, I'm a I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna do it from the heart. Which I'm gonna do it from the heart, but so I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna start with the NFC. I'll start with the AFC. So I'm gonna start with the AFC East. Um, I got a sleeper upset pick. Um, I'm gonna pick Miami division. I know I'm crazy. Moving on to the AFC West, I got to go back with the Chiefs. I think they're just going to run that thing back. The AFC North, I'm sorry, Nate. I'm going to have to take my home Baltimore Ravens. And for the AFC South, I got the Texans. Uh, Head over to the NFC side, the NFC East. I'm going to have to go with the Dallas Cowboys. The West, this is another sleeper. I got the Cardinals. I think the
Wow.
North for the NFC, I got the Lions. I think Adrian Peterson all is going to make a huge difference for them. And then I got to go with Dante's team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Better believe it.
So just just out of those, just to highlight my sleeper picks, Nate, I know you were talking about it. Miami kind of came on at the end of last year. I think Florida's gonna have those boys playing. I think they had a goal in mind. I think maybe winning the championship is gonna be, maybe a far stretch, but just looking at that team, looking at the division, there's a hole right now. And when I take, I guess, like a gaze through, I just say we could do something special, and I think Miami can do something special. So that's why and then the Cardinals. I mean, listen, I just think they're fantastic. They just got one of the best receivers. I love Cliff Kingsbury as a coach, um, and little Mighty Mike back there at quarterback. Uh, Old school Larry doing this thing. I don't know. I just got a feeling about them. Um, but going on to the AFC NFC championship game, um, I got the Baltimore Ravens and the Chiefs. I know it's going to be a lot of people's popular picks. Um, I think the Chiefs is going to be hard to repeat, but when you got somebody pulling a trigger that I think that has the motivation that Pat Mahomes has, it's very hard for me to think that in crunch time somebody's going to beat them. They re-signed a lot of their players, so they made a lot of their guys happy. Now the issue comes in is a lot of those guys that just got that big money need to be on the field. So, um, hopefully the injury bug doesn't hit. And then Baltimore, they've had 2 years in the playoffs where it's been a little lackluster as far as the playoffs is concerned. Um, I think Lamar Jackson wants to change that narrative. I think the Baltimore Ravens want to change that narrative. I think right now their weak spot might be safety. Obviously, they just let go of potential Hall of Famer, but for good reasons. Um, but at the end of the day, I think those two are going to make it. In the NFC, my Dallas Cowboys going against the Tampa Bay. No, I did not mispronounce the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or should I say, Mr. Tom Brady. That's what it stands for.
Why you gotta be so
I
disrespectful?
hate Tampa.
Why you gotta be so disrespectful?
Man, listen, you won't even put no respect on Cam's name, so I'm not putting no respect on them Buccaneers. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, man, Tampa Bay is going to the Super Bowl against the Baltimore Ravens, and I'm gonna take the Baltimore Ravens. I don't know why. I, Buccaneers got defense. Buccaneers got offense. They just got Leonard Fournette, and I don't care who you say the starting running back's going to be. I think by the end of the year, Leonard Fournette's going to outright have that job. Um, but Tom Brady is one of the greats, not the greatest, one of the greats. But what I think he does better than just about anybody is his leadership, the expectation, getting people to elevate their play, getting people to say, you know what, I'm tired, but I'm gonna keep fighting. And that's what I think a quality that Tom Brady has. I don't think he has the best arm. I don't think he's gonna have the best arm. I've been on here saying Jameis Winston is a better quarterback than Tom Brady, and I'm gonna keep saying Jameis Winston is a better quarterback than Tom Brady. Tom Brady just has some of those intangibles that you can't coach. That's not on the field. That's not I can throw a 60-yard pass. That's not I can snap a out route point 0.2 seconds. I just think he has some of those intangibles that you look for. But at the end of the day, the Baltimore Ravens, I, Action Jackson, whatever you want to call him, um, I just saw the clip of him throwing to a suspended player. I'm not even going to say his name, unless for some reason he decides to find his way to the Ravens. Um, but just looking at him, he's hungry. Brown is coming back for his second year. I just think this team is going to be a juggernaut and a problem to deal with. And not even all defensively. I think offensively, they're going to be able to control the ball, control the time. Um, and just like when Baltimore beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl, I think it's going to look a lot like that, where the offense is going to carry, but the defense is going to do just enough. So that's what I got. I'm gonna throw it to whoever want to go. Nate, you still got to go last because you're the man. You're probably gonna pick everything right, but I'm going from the heart, and my Baltimore Ravens is going to be a Super Bowl champion.
There's some homer picks
Dante
in
or
there.
Fade?
I'll go. So Jarrell, all I heard was blah 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 blah. Tampa Bay going to the Super Bowl. Blah 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 blah. Come on, man. Listen, this is what I got. All right, so I got in the AFC, the East. I got the Bills winning their division. In the North, I have the Ravens because the Ravens they beast, man. Like Lamar Jackson, you can't bet against him. The only thing that people can say bad about him is that he hasn't got it done in the playoffs. But that man a beast, so I got them boys winning. The test, I got the out of the South, I got the Texans. Um, I know they lost their receiver, but I think that with gosh, what's his name? I can't even think of his name right now. The quarterback, with him getting his new deal, I think he's going to be more than motivated, and he's going to help the team elevate. And I think they're going to win their division. And then out of the West, I have KC. You can't. I mean, ain't nobody in their division that's going to come close and mess with the boys. So then I jump over to the NFC. Out of the East, I got the Cowgirls. I really want to go with the Eagles. I just don't see. I really feel like Jalen Hurts is going to probably become the starting quarterback because your boy Wentz can't stay healthy. So, yeah. So I just can't pick the Eagles on that. So I think the Cowboys are going to get it done. I think Dats have a lot that he feels like he has a lot to prove because he's not, the Cowboys is not respecting him. So I think he's going to pull it out. Out of the North, in the NFC, I got the Bears. I actually had the Bears last year going to the Super Bowl. However, they just couldn't get it done. I think this year the defense is going to be even better than what it was last year, and I think that they're going to get it done on the offensive side of the ball. And so I got them winning their division. Of course, in the South, we not even got to say who coming out of the South. Come on now, everybody know the Bucks. Let's go, man. Listen, we just got our offense. It's brand stinking new. Aside from Tom Brady, because he's old. However, we about to listen. The South don't know what's going on. They gonna my boy Eric, my brother-in-law. I know he around there just crying because he know that the Saints ain't got nothing. They can't do nothing. Their best bet is probably put Jameis in. If you want to win, put Jameis in. But yeah, it's a wrap. The Falcons, they ain't doing nothing. So yeah, we about to tear. And then what? Carolina. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater, really? I mean,
Yeah,
he good, but I mean, there's no hope out there. They need to just go ahead and burn that program and call it a day. So out of the West, I got the 49ers. 49ers, man, they the truth. Awesome defense. Uh, Garoppolo, he's still kind of, is he going to be that great quarterback or, can he really play? So we're going to see. But I have them winning their division. So then once we get to the championships, this is where it gets a little sticky for me. I have the Baltimore Ravens and KC. Out of that game, that's gonna be man, that's gonna be a rough game. However, I think if Lamar plays good, which I think he will, I think they win. But I have to give it to KC because they have the best quarterback in the NFL, hands down. Nobody else is touching him. As long as he stays healthy, and the offense stays healthy, they're gonna be. I can't see nobody sticking with them or doing anything to them. Then when you get to the NFC, I have the 49ers and the Bucks. So out of this game, I have to go with the Bucks. And the reason why is because it's just destiny. Yeah, Super Bowl is in Tampa. Tom Brady came to Tampa. You just look at it, man. All the stars just lining. So Tampa Bay gonna win that game. So now you got and KC. And if y'all can see this, you got the Bucks win, baby, the Super Bowl. We here. We here. First team to win the Super Bowl at home. Let's go. Thank you, Tom, for your services. Go ahead, retire. We keep moving. Let's go.
Wow. No. No. Okay. So I'll run through mine real quick. So for the NFC East, I got the Cowboys. For the NFC North, I got the Packers. NFC South, I got the Saints, Dante.
The Stanks.
The
The
Saints.
Saints.
Drew Brees. Drew Brees gonna get up all up in Tom Brady. All up in
Listen, is Eric paying you off?
him. For the West, I got the
Hey, Pastor.
Seahawks.
Hey,
Ooh.
hold on, Faye. Hold on, Faye. Hold on, Faye. Hold on, Faye. Hey, hey, Dante. Hey, Pastor. Or when the Saints go marching in, man. Saints go marching in.
Hey, not them Saints because they down there doing the boo-hoo.
Wow.
Not
Go
voodoo.
ahead,
Voodoo.
Faye. Go
They're
ahead,
doing the
Faye.
voodoo.
So I think Russell Wilson is one of the better quarterbacks in the league. You know, he's up there. So I really think the Seahawks there. It was hard for the NFC North. I'll say it was hard for me between the Packers and the Vikings. But something that you alluded to, Jarrell, a few weeks ago, as far as maybe Aaron Rodgers being motivated by them drafting the quarterback or whatever. I guess now he knows how Favre felt. And Favre wasn't wanting to show him nothing. So maybe Aaron Rodgers is going to do the same thing and be like, nah, kid, you got to earn your way. So for the AFC East, I almost don't even want to say it for the AFC East. But I got the Pats.
Patriots fan.
No. I just... It's all Bill Belichick is why I'm saying the Pats. And I almost went the Bills because, it's something about what's the quarterback's name there?
Josh Allen.
Yeah, it's like I know he made some stupid plays at the end of the game last year in the playoffs, but I don't know, his fight and his spirit out there kind of won me over a little bit last year. Like he. What was it, that little lateral he tried at the end of the game? Like, it's like, whoa, what are you doing? But I don't know. It's just something about, you could tell he was fighting to win that game. Any and everything that he could do, he was fighting. So that kind of rubbed off on me. AFC North, Ravens. AFC South, I got the Texans. And the West, the Chiefs. So, my AFC Championship game may surprise you guys. I got the Chiefs over the Texans. I think the Texans will be there. Your boy, the quarterback at Texans, is his, he's coming up on his contract year. And so I think he's going to ball out.
He just got that contract.
Oh, he did?
He just got 160.
Oh, I didn't see that. So, yeah, I think he's going to ball out. He got his money. So, yeah, he's going to ball out. So I think the Texans, and then NFC, I got the Cowboys over the Saints.
Whoa. The Cowboys going to the bowl?
Yeah. But I got them losing to the Chiefs, though. I got them losing to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So my main thing this year that I feel for the season that we talked about a couple weeks back was just team continuity. I really, really feel like in the early stages of the season, the teams who have been playing together and stuff like that are going to get out ahead and win some games. And then as other teams who are still getting familiar and stuff like that, they'll pick some wins up later in the season. But I just think the continuity is going to win out. And I think the Chiefs, like I said a while ago, the Chiefs have, to me, the easiest path to the Super Bowl, being they have a lot of their same pieces and the best quarterback in the league. So, all right, Nate, it's on you. I'm about to record this, man, so I can win me some money this season.
Man.
Got my notepad.
You know what? I got to say, some Homer picks going on here. A little bit. I know Darrell's like, oh man, they go like him on pick for the division. I said, Darrell, you might be surprised who I picked for the division. So, meanwhile, let's just start with the AFC North. I pains me to say it, I will pick the Ravens to win the division. Well, no, I'm a big Steeler fan, but right now, we're not betting with our heart. We're betting with our mind and our wallet. So I do think the Ravens are the best team in the division. I like them a lot. One of the things that me and Boof have been screaming for years was that a team literally just commit to a mobile quarterback and build a team around him and highlight his skill set. And no one has even scratched the surface of doing what the Ravens do, of doing as good as maybe the Niners a little bit back in the day with Cap, but again, that was Greg Norman, and now it's Greg Norman with the Ravens. So he's finally. I feel like Harbaugh is like, yeah, I want you to commit to it.
He bought in.
I love their offense. I love what they do. I love that they know who they are. It's just me looking at purely as a coach and just a fan of good football. Like I love what they do. So,
Hey, before you go on, I was gonna say the funny thing is too, he coached underneath both of the brothers. Isn't that ironic?
Yeah, it is. It's crazy. But yeah, it's honestly, I wish that if we could just like switch uniforms for both those teams and keep Minka, I'd be really, really happy with all of that. But yeah, I think if Big Ben can be back to old Big Ben, I think they could challenge him. I will say that. I think they could challenge him because the defense, Pittsburgh's D's legit. AFC East, I like the Bills to win the division. I like the Jets to finish dead last because they suck. Seriously,
Hey,
the Jets.
Listen, they got Cash, they got your boy. They got Bell.
They got El Bell. Yeah, the head coach hates them, and their offensive line sucks. I mean, the dude hasn't had a 20-yard run since 2015. I mean,
oh wow,
it's hard out here. Hey, he can't do anything but go up this year, man.
Dude, he's a running back who's getting older. There's nowhere but to go down. Oh man. Yeah. So yeah, Bills and AFC East. I don't hate the Dolphins pick, Jarrell. I think they're going to surprise some people this year. Like I said, I think the Flores got the boys going good. AFC South. I like the Titans to take the division. They went 9-7 last year without even having Tannehill quarterback the whole year. I think they know. Again, they're another team that knows who they are.
yeah.
They're gonna pound the rock with Henry. They got skill on the outside to run that play action with Tannehill, who's actually shown himself to be a pretty good quarterback. So I like the Titans. Jaguars are trash in that division. Colts are a wild card because it depends what Phillip Rivers is going to get. It really does. And the Texans, I just don't trust Bill O'Brien. I love Deshaun Watson, but I don't trust Bill O'Brien. And Deshaun has shown that when he gets rid of the ball, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But when he starts holding on to the ball, that's when he starts taking sacks. That's when he starts getting those small injuries building up. So I can't trust the Texans. Would it surprise me if they had a good year? No, but I just can't trust the Texans. Last division, AFC West. It's no secret with my friend Boof that I am a huge, like the Steelers are like my favorite team, but like if I was like a 1A, my man crushes like Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs, man. I love Pat Mahomes. I love the Chiefs offense. Again, another team that knows who they are, and they have one of the best to ever do it already at the position. So I think it's a no-brainer for the Chiefs to win that division. It would take a catastrophic injury to Mahomes for them to not win it. So I love the Chiefs, or as I like to say on the podcast, Chiefs. So they will be I'll fast forward here. They will be my Super Bowl representative in the AFC. And I think they are going to be beating the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC Championship game. to go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. I'm picking the Chiefs already to win the Super Bowl. And Super Bowl MVP and season MVP, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, because
I agree.
Pat Mahomes. And so the NFC North, we got the. I'm sorry, Dante. I think the Bears are awful. I don't like them. I don't like them. I think it's like I said. I think the Vikes take a step back. I think it's a 3-team race between the Vikes, Packers, and Lions. I see the Packers edging out uh, the Lions for the division this year. But I think you're looking at it on maybe only a 9 or 10 win team winning that division. I don't think the Packers are getting to 13. I think there's some, we'll say, use a math term here, there's going to be some negative regression to the mean this year with their win total. So they're going to come back down to earth a little bit. NFC East, I mean, the Cowboys, I think, are just clearly the most talented team in that division. And the addition of Lamb to that receiving core, I mean, that's a dirty offense. That's a dirty offense. But Redskins are rebuilding. Giants are still kind of on the next step of a rebuild. And then the Eagles, man, like I just question how much talent they got at the skill positions to be able to keep up with Dallas. I think Dallas takes the next step this year.
And their quarterback's always hurt.
Yeah, I mean Carson Wentz is a beast when he's going good, but he's just one of those guys who just seems to be injury prone.
I would have picked him.
What's that?
I would have picked Philadelphia because I think Carson Wentz is good, but yeah, he gets hurt.
Yeah, it's just I like him, but I like Dallas in the NFC East. I like the Tampa Bay Gronkaneers to win the NFC South.
The Gronkaneers.
It's one of those things. I reached a point with Tom Brady where it's just like I respect him. I can't stand him. I can't stand the Patriots. I can't stand Bill Belichick. But damn it, if I would do it if I was in the NFL exactly like the Patriots. I would fudge the rules, everything I got to do to win, whatever it takes. So it's the Patriots, like I respect what they do because they do everything they can to win. So
that's why I love when the Titans beat them, and the head coach was using some of the same strategies that Bill Belichick does, and you saw Belichick getting pissed.
Yep. Dude, Vrabel's on the sideline smirking. He's like, "Yeah, I got your ass on that." That was so great. I loved it. But so yeah, I think the Saints take a step back. I just think Drew Brees is starting to show his age. I think the Saints will be good. I think they'll make the playoffs. But I like the TB to get it done in the NFC North, and then the NFC West. I think it was you, Fabe. I gotta agree. I think I'll take the Seahawks. I like the Seahawks in the NFC West just because recent history suggests that Super Bowl losers generally have a tough time the following season after a Super Bowl loss. I think that San Francisco could be an outlier in that because of how young and talented they still are, but it would not surprise me if they make it the playoffs as a wild card this year and not winning the division. So I like the Seahawks to win that division. And I also can't hate on the Cardinals making a run at it either, man. I think them getting D-Hop, and I love Cliff Kingsbury. I love Murray. I actually think he's a dark horse MVP candidate if he has a good enough year. Because if they do make the playoffs, probably going to be because he's balling out. So I think he's someone that is definitely out for. So what do we got? We got the NFC conference game. I got the Tampa Bay Gronkaneers in the NFC Championship against the Seahawks, beating the Seahawks to go on to the Super Bowl, and then the Tampa Bay Gronkaneers to the Chiefs, and Tom Brady officially passing the torch to Pat Mahomes as the new GOAT.
That'd be an interesting Super Bowl. I'd like that.
I like,
I
yeah.
I'd like to see that. I liked when the Chiefs and the Pats went at it. They had some really good games in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Really good games.
Yep.
Like seeing Pat Mahomes, was that 2 seasons ago when he came
Mhm.
back like 28 like just don't quit. This man just doesn't quit. Just doesn't quit.
Uh, I a funny story like this past postseason, and and the more I feel, the more I say about some of the stuff. There's so much stuff that goes into betting. You can live bet during a game on the app. Like you can have an app and like you can live bet. Say the Chiefs were down big time, Titans, and you can like grab like a live line for like whatever it was. You can say, all right, I'll take the Chiefs +7 or whatever. Even they're down by like 10 or whatever it is. That's an example. You can still bet on that during the middle of a game.
Wow.
So what actually happened is when the Chiefs were down, I believe it was like 19. They were down. They were down 17 to the Titans, and my buddy Boofy is like, "Man, the Titans are still getting 9.5 points, even though they're already up 17 points." He's like, "So right now, the line basically would be since they're already up 17, I'm getting 9 more. I'm basically plus 26.5 right now." He's like, I think I should get. He's like, I should get on that bet, and I'm just like, man, Pat Mahomes, man, Chiefs, don't do it, don't do it. And like he jumped on it, and the Chiefs rolled back, and not only they beat the Titans, but they beat them by like 7. They beat them by like
Yeah.
20 points. So he even, he didn't even cover, and he's just like, damn man, I can't believe I was up by 26.5 and I still lost. I was like, Chiefs.
So, hey Nate,
Jeez.
I don't remember if you heard the story. I think it was a Jets game or something like that, where a guy made a bet, and it was towards the end of the game, and it was like a glitch or something that happened, and I guess it closed super quick, but he got his bet in,
Yeah,
and I can't remember which sports agency it was, but they weren't trying to pay him because they said it was a glitch. But I think it was something like 3 points or something of that nature, and then they ended up kicking the field goal glitch. I don't know
yeah,
if you remember that, but I remember hearing that, and it was a substantial amount of money.
yeah,
And I remember it was like a big thing on talk radio where they were like, they got to pay him, and then Vegas came in and said, well, if it was our mistake, we would have paid him.
yeah.
Um, I don't know if it was FanDuel. It was one of them. And I just was like, that's a big mistake.
Oh yeah,
That is a big
someone got
mistake.
fired for that. I mean, someone got fired for that. That's where it comes into though, like what you're talking about. Sports books, even if it means taking a financial hit like that, if you don't honor that bet, now you risk being known, losing your reputation
Mm.
as good sports book, someone who pays out, someone who honors bets. Because so in trying to avoid that, that's in the grand scheme of things, small financial loss. If you don't honor that, you're gonna hurt yourself financially in the long run because there's a lot of other apps that I can go and sports books that I can bet with. I don't have to bet with you. So if I don't think you're going to pay me, that's fine. You won't get my business. I'll just
Yeah.
take it elsewhere. That's why they have the motivation to honor those bets. And like for instance, like a good example too, like just paying out. Like that's one of the reasons I like the books that I like. Because like my boy Boof, I mean, he really killed it last year. He had an awesome year, and I mean, it was so great because he was saying, he's like, yeah, I'm just, I'm just dipping into the betting winnings every so often when I need to pay some bills. and I was like, that's a good year. That's a good year.
Oh yeah.
Nice. All right, guys, we are to the last segment of the show called Deep Thoughts, where we take your guys' questions and comments. Um, some things I did want to point out from chat. Dante and Jarrell, it looks like the wives want you guys to do some business with Nathan, cause they looking to get that $4,300. Miss Miss Ashley says, "Go get that van money, sir." Jarrell, get the van money.
Serve fresh, go get that van. No ski mask.
um, Byron says to Jarrell, "You can't be disrespecting his Bucks minus Tom Brady. I guess you can disrespect Tom Brady."
No, you can't because he part of the Bucks, so you can't.
Oh, oh, the Tampa Bay sucks. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, you're right.
I could ask you guys something actually. Do you not think now? Granted, Jameis Winston like arm talent. I mean, there's no question at this point. Like he has more arm talent than Tom Brady. But don't you think that even though you're getting a declining Tom Brady at quarterback, that still makes Tampa Bay better just because there's now 20 less interceptions they're going to be thrown.
I see. Okay, so most of my family, they love Jameis. I like Jameis too because I'm a Florida State fan. However, that's my logic is that with Tom Brady stepping into the room, what we were 79 last year, now easily, because I think they said it was something crazy like out of the 9 losses that we had, they said like 7 of them were like we lost by like less than 7 points.
Yeah, one score games.
And he threw, a bunch of picks.
Yeah.
33 touchdowns and 30 picks.
Wow.
So I'm like, there's no doubt in my mind that Tom Brady is going to get us over that hump. And so now instead of having 7 wins, easily we should be able to get 12. And it's not going to be a lot of
Dante.
and the defense not going to be on the field that much because he's not turning the ball over.
I can't fault the logic. Hey, I
You
mean,
guys. What you guys ought to realize is Jameis got LASIK. He just needed to get his vision. That he was seeing blurry. Um, it's okay, Dante. Nate, you are 100% correct. They are going to be a better team strictly because, and this is nothing about Tom Brady's other abilities, strictly because he takes care of the ball. They will be a better team. I think they would have been just as good of a team. We're not talking about the intangibles. We're just talking about on the field. I think they would have been the same team if Jameis came back after his LASIK. My personal opinion. And I hate Jameis because he went to Florida State. The U.
Well, yeah, the U is garbage anyways. But anyways, as you were saying, you said that because he takes care of the ball. No, Tom Brady takes care of the ball in his body. Jameis Winston, he's been doing the same thing since he was in college. He's been squinting and doing all that.
And
so
stealing crab legs.
he did. Listen, they told me to have it for free. He had you don't got to pay for that, sir.
oh man.
But the thing is with Jameis and the whole thing with the surgery, if he knew that his eyes were bad, he should have took care of that a long time ago. You getting paid, bro. Go take care of your eyes. So I think that it probably had a little bit to do with his eyes, but I think more so, I think he was just trying to be the competitor that he is, and he was trying to make plays, and then realize that hey, I should have threw because I was watching one game when I came down last year from my auntie, and we were watching the game at my cousin's house, and I was like, "You see how he threw that ball? The receiver broke, and he threw the ball after the receivers broke." And everybody on here, knows in the NFL, if you're throwing the ball after your receiver broke, that is going to be a pick. He should have threw the ball, and my cousin was like, "No, no, no." I said, "Look, watch the replay," and he's like, "Yeah, you're right." He should have, if he would have threw the ball as he was coming out of the break and not when he already broke, it would have been a touchdown. And that's the problem that he made a lot of times over the year. So Tom Brady is not going to make those mistakes. Tom
I
Brady's
gotta,
not going to take stats.
I gotta say though, if his eyes were that bad that he's seeing double, then I really got to question his decision making because that means he's throwing it to two defensive backs instead of one. That's even me.
But I like James. That's my boy. He
No,
just
I honestly I don't hate. Yeah, I can't hate on him. It just I just question his decision making.
I think,
Hopefully,
yeah, I think the main thing to me is Jameis didn't study the game at that level. He had skill and stuff like that, but at that level, everybody's good. So you got to do stuff to set you apart. And I just feel he relied a lot on his talent and didn't really study the game to get better, to get himself to that next level.
but I will say this too, and I go to bat for him on this. He did have 3 or 4 different offensive coordinators, and that is very tough when you're playing at that level because everybody has different terminology, everybody has a different playbook, so that is very hard. Tom Brady, he played on only one system for his entire career. And so now it's going to be interesting to kind of see how he's going to be able to play under a different system. However, I think they are going to probably try to do some stuff to make it easier for him that he did in New England. But that's the only other thing I would say about Jameis is that he didn't have a real fair shake because he had so many different offensive coordinators. But at the end of the day, listen, you NFL quarterback, you don't need to be throwing the ball when somebody already in their break. You need to throw the ball before they in their break. Period.
I hear
I got you.
that. All right. Anybody else got any final thoughts?
Uh,
I mean, not necessarily a follow. I mean, not necessarily anything crazy, but Nate, I beyond appreciate you coming on. I mean, just your wisdom as far as betting. Obviously, we go way back. So just getting to talk with you on here, just been a pleasure, man. So thank you. Um, you'll be back on here. You'll be a frequent flyer, as they say. So I can't afford to pay you any miles, but we'll make sure that you get back on here. So I appreciate you jumping on, just sharing, what you do. We can see your passion, man. We can see your passion. So good luck in the season. Yeah, we gonna have to start talking a little bit after this because we gotta get some of that money. Rent time.
absolutely, man. Likewise with all of that, I do. I appreciate you guys having me on and good catching up and talking to all of you guys. And obviously, good to meet you too, Fabe, the #1 fan. And and definitely look forward to doing this again, man. It was a lot of fun.
No problem, Nate. Hey, thank you so much for jumping on, Nate. Like Jarrell said, man, we really appreciate it. We really appreciate you coming and telling us about what you do. And please, man, the link gonna be in the description below. Please go follow him. Please go see what they talking about. And hey, get that money. Let's go, baby.
Get that money.
That's it. Get that money.
Get that money.
Like they said. Thank you, Nate. All right, everybody. We appreciate you tuning in. We hope you guys got some value from sports bettings within the NFL so you guys can get that money. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you guys next week. Peace.